Hello, I'm live. Okay, today I have 3 fundamental principles that I've kind of pulled together to help to guide your decisions and choice around the techie stuff online. So, I'm Susan Weeks and I help you to create a course fast and easier. And it makes me really sad to see people kind of falling down the many potholes and problems that there are to do that. Okay, so now these principles will also help you to make decisions not just about course creation, but say for example you are having a website done, or you've decided that you want to sell things online and you're moving into e-commerce. So these principles will work regardless pretty much of the thing, although obviously I'm focused on course creation. Right, so we are wanting to do something online. It involves the techie stuff, right? And ultimately what you're doing is building a valuable business asset. Technology will be involved, and whatever it is that you're building will involve 3 things. You will be investing your very precious time, which has a massive value. Our time is not free. You will be investing money. We cannot do all of these things to build a business just using free things. Free can be a good place to start. I'll come back to that in a minute. But we are investing. We want something to give us a return, and it's not realistic in this day and age to expect that everything is available for free. No. And the third thing that you'll be investing is a huge amount of effort, because invariably you are going to be faced with a steep learning curve. So when we're looking at time, you need to make sure that you are also kind of blocking out time, consistent time, to get this damn well done. But also don't forget that your learning curve, the only way you go up your learning curve is to do some learning. So you will need time to actually do research and learning and practicing as well. Anyway, so with those 3 investments of time, money and effort, used wisely, will create us the result of whatever techie thing it is that we're trying to create. In the example that I'm kind of going to use here, it is basically that of creating an online course. So many of my creative friends, business people I speak to, have some kind of in-person workshop experience or teaching classes, crafts and so on. And for many reasons, which I've done other videos and I've got another one lined up for next week, why you may want to consider creating an in-person, an online version of your in-person thing. You're just adding another business asset. So these guiding principles will help you to wisely invest those 3 items into creating this business asset. And the 3 principles that I want you to think about is really to help you, because you don't know what you don't know. So at least thinking about these 3 things each time will help you to go, oh, hang on a minute, I need to find out more about that thing, or, oh, hadn't thought about that. So the 3 principles, and I do have some notes, if you guess what I'm kind of looking down for, is some quick notes here. So the 3 are: point 1, keep control. And I shall come back to each of these and give a few little ideas about what I mean by these. So point 1, keep control. Point 2, is the thing that you're looking at fit for purpose? Has it been designed to do what it is that you want to do with it? Does it fit where you are with your business? And point 3 is it going to give a quality experience? So a quality user experience, a quality student experience, a quality shopping or client experience. So those are the 3 guiding principles. The level of control that you have over this thing, is it fit for purpose, and is it going to provide a quality experience for the person who is paying you for this particular thing? Right, So with that being said, let's just go through a couple of little examples, and then this is a subject that I'm going to be doing some more videos on, and a blog post and so forth. So my website, you can get to me, virtualityworks.com, and I've got a blog on there with a load of videos as well. Right, some examples about control. So a very small example would be, who is controlling your time and your business effort? Is it you? Or is it all of those damn notifications dinging away on your phone all day long, telling you a load of trivial stuff that's interrupting and distracting? So if you're always going, oh, right, I'll respond to that notification. Oh, what's going on? Oh, you have no control over what you're doing. You are passing control over to all of those random dings and dongs. Okay? Maybe you haven't thought about it that way. If the minute you get a ding, there's an email, do you go hurtling off to go and read that email? Do you have to go and read that email right now? Or are you better organising your time, blocking it out, so you're quite strict with yourself about, well, do you know what, I'm going to go and check my emails at lunchtime and at 4 o'clock. Don't start the day off by checking your emails, because that's a guaranteed way of you just getting whatever your plan for the day was. I guarantee you'll get distracted by whatever's cropped up in email. It depends on what's coming through your email, okay, of course, but you can keep better control of your time and of your business by just keeping a control about all these damn notifications going off all the time. Don't give all of those distractions control over your business. The same if you have all these little stories we all have going around in our head, but oh, I can't do that, I don't know about this thing, that thing's better, theirs better than mine, oh God, what the hell am I doing in business? Again, are you giving control of your business over to all those stupid stories that you're telling yourself? Or are you taking control as a business owner, going through those things and moving on? So there's those aspects of control. Another one would be, if you're busy building an audience on social media, let's get a Facebook group, okay? So that's always a classic. Yeah, build a Facebook group. Really brilliant for building your business and building your audience. Yes, it can be, but where's the control? At that point in time, you have got zero control. You have given all of your control over to Facebook. Yes, it can be a brilliant way of building an audience. However, do make sure that you have a process or procedure or something in place of a way of encouraging people to come and sign up onto your email marketing. That's one of the main reasons why we have email marketing, is because that's one of the few things that you have control over. Okay? You're controlling who's on that list. You have access to the people. They're already your customers or people who are interested in signing up for your thing. So again, where's the control if you've just got this group of people? And I've been working online for 12 years. I've helped clients of all different sizes and shapes, all right? And I've also seen quite well-placed business owners with a successful online business with groups with many thousands in, and that group suddenly gets shut down for some random Facebook thing. Of course, you've got no chance of trying to contact anyone in Facebook. No, because you're using a free thing, all right? If you're doing ads, yes, you can find somebody to talk to. If your Facebook group suddenly gets shut down or something happens to it, you can't get into it anymore, you have instantly lost all of those people in that group if you're not making some kind of process to keep control and to get them into some kind of email marketing funnel that you've got on the go. Another one where you're giving your control of your business over to one of these large, massive organisations that couldn't care less about you is something I see a lot, is people, rather than using a proper course hosting platform, people think, oh, it's okay to, I'll just put them in YouTube and use them on an unlisted link. Nobody'll know they're there. Zero control there, okay? Because whoever's got that link, they can view that video. They can also share it. They could therefore share it onto a public playlist somewhere else. You've got no control over what happens to that content. If people have paid you for that content, and the best that you can do is put it as an unlisted playlist somewhere, then you're shortchanging that experience for them. I'll come back to that, but you know, you've got no control over that content. And also, once that person's kind of on YouTube, we all know what happens on YouTube, off we go down a rabbit hole, and we completely forget what on earth was on there first. And they were supposedly learning from you through those that thing they bought, and you'd sent them off to YouTube. No control. Okay, so those are the kind of things that you want you to think about when you're building some of these kind of techie things. Yes, free can be a good place to start. However, as we look at in a minute, there's a lot of dangers there. So keeping control, however that is relevant to the thing that you're looking at, be it a piece of tech or just the way you manage it at. Point 2 was fit for purpose. Is that thing that you're looking at fit for its purpose? So we've just looked at that YouTube example. Is hosting your course content using unlisted YouTube videos fit for purpose for a paying customer? I would argue no, for the reasons I've already given, plus lots of others. Okay, that links into what I kind of talk about is the danger of free tools. Don't get me wrong, free can be a really great place to start. However, it can also be a not very good place to stay, in terms of if you're trying to grow your business, then again, where it's like like an exchange of money and ideas, etc., isn't it, a business? So, you know, people pay us to do something for them. Same with, you know, paying for tools and things. If you're always trying to do everything for free, then what you'll find is what you're doing is putting barriers up to your growth and for creating a decent experience. So great place to start, not a great place to stay. So free tools. Now it can be really tempting to think, oh, do you know, let me think about, video editing is another one I've come across lots. Think, oh hell, I need to do some video editing. Oh, I don't really fancy paying for video editing. Oh, is there any free ones out there? There's bloody loads, all right? The problem with something like a free tool is, how on earth is that business going to even pay to keep it up to date and developed if they're not getting any income in? So you usually also find that the support's absolutely pants, doesn't exist. They can't, if they're not charging for that tool, the developers cannot afford to just sit there and support it for free. Quite often people will provide a free tool to get into the market, and then they will have some kind of support possibly, but their intention is then to monetize that and then start selling it once they've got a kind of a momentum going of a user base. So don't be fooled by that. Quite often these things are riddled with ads. You've got no idea if it's actually a quality thing, and sadly there are also, you know, quite a lot of free tools and things which have basically been put in there as a mechanism for spreading malware. You know, there is such a thing as malware as a service. Can you believe it? You can go ahead and track down people who are selling malware as a service. So you're deliberately going to package it up to look like something useful and then start to infect people's computers, access through hacking into the details. The kind of gaming community has been hit by this recently. There'll be limits on the amount of use, no doubt. Various things. If there's often no very good help facilities either, so you're left poking about in the dark, or you're in a user community, which is, let's face it, like the blind leading the bloody blind, isn't it? You pose a question about how does this thing work, and you'll get all sorts of answers, most of which will not be true or correct. You're really literally taking your life in your hands with some of these things. Quite often, if you then need to expand, you will find that the paid version of that thing is often not actually fit for purpose for your business and your situation. You were only using it because it was free, but the features of the paid thing are not actually suitable for your business. So now all you've done is kind of put off that barrier and making another hurdle to trying to grow. You need to do something. So now what's your choice? Well, you better go and find something that fits better. something to think about. Is it fit for purpose? Quite often I see people getting sucked in with all these fantastic marketers who can sell, you know, icebergs to people who live in the Arctic. But by getting sucked in and not thinking about where's your level of control and is it fit for purpose, you can quickly finish up buying something and finish up paying like for a monthly, you know, going from free to buying something that's still not suitable, because you're not at the level of business to support that income, or you don't have the level of kind of techiness to get the damn thing working in the first place. And if you be kind of sucked in for one of these all-in-one tools, oh yeah, it's so easy. Actually, quite often it's not. Or somebody said, oh well, you know, get this plugin for WordPress. You know, WordPress is a brilliant thing. But if you're trying to kind of get a decent website going, then there's still work to do. You've got to, you know, be updating it and checking it, and there's loads of things and too many plugins. They all start to compete against each other. So you then finish up having to pay somebody to keep it going for you. Again, is that something that you really want to do? Yes, it might be. But is it something that you need to do right at the start? Probably not. So, control, fit for purpose. Trying to cobble together loads of free things is also a recipe for something being complicated, bloody hard work, time consuming, difficult to manage. So again, you can, by trying to cobble these things together, you put in another barrier up. And the more frustrations and barriers that you're putting up for yourself, the less effort you've actually got for growing your business, for putting the effort into the marketing and so forth. And yeah, it can be difficult to get the appropriate advice. You don't know what you don't know. So sometimes taking that step back and thinking, what do I actually know about this thing? Is it fit for my business? An example, a lot of the people I speak to are creatives, you know, from my people who listen to my podcast. I have a lot of conversations with artists who are, you know, struggling to get some of these things up and running online, or the ongoing maintenance. It's draining. They want to go and do their art, not faff about with all this online stuff. All right. So sometimes it's worth biting the bullet and paying for an hour of somebody's time who'll say, right, you know, these are things you need to think about. Yes, we can sort that. I wouldn't touch that with a barge pole. It's too complicated, etc. You can save yourself a huge amount of time. And the third issue to the principle to guide what you're doing is this, coming back to this quality experience. Are you creating a quality experience for your course students, your clients, your shoppers? And this can be quite a subjective thing, but it's a very crowded online world out there. You're not the first person who fancies doing an online course. You're not the first person who's selling the thing online. There's already lots of people out there. It can feel overwhelming, the sheer volume of competitors that you are kind of faced up against. So the way in which to kind of, I think, to feel more confident about this, and also to be offering value for money, is to have this quality, more quality experience. Okay, so for example, once we have somebody who's paid us to do a thing or to do our course, then it's far easier to get another sale out of them, right, than always having to get new people all the time. However, if what you've created in terms of your course, and let's say the course platform, or you are sending them off into YouTube, or you've got all these things cobbled together and it doesn't always really work, then it's not a quality feel. People are looking for value for money. People will pay, but nobody wants to feel as if they've kind of been ripped off by a shoddy thing. So think about the quality experience that your decisions are going to make and the impact that is going to have on your business, particularly and the impact on getting more business out of the same customers. If you've got a plan, say you might be starting off with something on the beginners, and then you know you've got an intermediate and an advanced. If your beginners one's rubbish because the quality is just not there, they are not going to be an intermediate or an advanced. And so that short-centered, oh well, I'll just get it up then, it'll do. To a certain extent, yes, under certain circumstances, but if that's the way it's always going to work, then they will not come back, and you're constantly going to be having what's called churn, always looking for new people. It's exhausting doing that. Expectations. A lot of people now over the last, since the pandemic, that forced a lot of people to do things online that they never thought they would, like craft lessons, learning things online. Okay, no, they didn't want to do that. They had to, and now people have got used to it. Okay, so people have a much higher expectation now. So when, everyone was first in lockdown, people were very tolerant of crappy Zooms with bad audio and things going in and out and a not very good internet connection and all of that. Everyone was very forgiving of all of those things. 3 years later, we need to up our game because our customers have upped their expectations. Okay, people don't need to put up with crappy tech, crappy videos, crappy learning experience. You need to be looking at that third principle of a quality student experience in terms of online courses, where I'm looking at. So expectations, repeat customers. Okay. The other thing about the learning experience is in terms of the actual videos. People like to have short, snappy learning videos so they can kind of pause it, especially if they're learning a craft, if you're learning how to stitch or paint or do something. Okay, so kind of short, snappy little learning videos, properly edited, properly lit with decent audio. People don't have huge amounts of time, and time can be a barrier. If they think, well, I've got half an hour, oh yeah, but then videos go on for like an hour and I haven't got time. I bought a course from a guru last year, really irritated by it. It was expensive, and they'd taken that own, silly advice of, oh well, you can just record it live on Zoom and then that'll do. Some of these videos are 2 hours long, with him rambling on with his live audience. Oh, hi son, so how's your dog getting on? Don't care about their bloody dog. I want to get on and learn about this thing. This person's touting themselves as an expert in this topic, and they're really great at teaching. They've got such a good, such a good reputation, and it makes me angry, really angry. So, easy for you, easy for them, but sometimes what appears to be initially easy, like, oh, I'll bung it on YouTube, can feel like easier than, putting it on a course platform, for example. However, longer term, you're going to get far more benefits, and it's going to be far easier for you to keep this thing going and grow and scale when you've put that investment into putting it in a proper place. Okay, so shortcuts don't often get you to long-term, viable solutions. Anyway, that's enough today on those things, but I really want you to just understand that regardless of what it is that we're looking at, those 3 guiding principles, put your decisions through that filter. What level of control have you got or have you given away here? What level of usefulness, is it fit for purpose? And what quality experience are you creating for your paying customers? So I'm always happy, I've been working with all of this technology stuff for the last 12 years, right? So I'm always happy to kind of answer a quick question, share a quick resource, or of course, if you would like to, if you've got something where you're like really stuck on and you're not quite sure what the kind of pros and cons of something are, then you can, of course, book me. You can do a paid brain picking session. You can book me for an hour, and we can get to the bottom of what is the decision, the right decision for you, for your business, your level of investment at your point in time. So there we are. Think about those 3 fundamental principles as a filter for kind of making these techie decisions online. I shall be writing a blog post about this as well, and I shall be digging more into some of these issues with regards to creating an online course in future videos. I hope your week's going well, and I will catch you later. Bye now.